We have another action-packed weekend of racing ahead of us, and the two-year-old racing is getting more and more exciting as we edge closer to the grand finale, the Golden Slipper. On Saturday, you have three talented colts lining up in the Group 2 Todman Stakes, Shangri-La Express, Straight Charge and Espionage. Are you looking forward to seeing them match up against each other?
The Todman Stakes is certainly going to be a very interesting matchup. Very hard to split these three colts, but very excited to see them. Shangri-La Express improved nicely off his first up run. He was excellent. Straight Charge was very impressive, winning from the front in the Silver Slipper, a very good lead up. And Espionage wasn't far behind him, and I think he's open to further improvement. So very hard to split the three colts, but all very exciting.
Gambaret and Le Vampires will look to add the Group 1 Ramwick Guineas to their name. What type of race are you expecting them both to run?
Gambaret's taken nice improvement off his first up run in the Hobartville. I thought he stuck on very well. He'll be much better suited stepping out to the mile here. No doubt he's only going to continue to improve as he gets over further, but I feel he's right on track. La Vampire in the same race, he was excellent stepping up in grade. He stuck on well for third. I think he should really appreciate stepping up to the mile here, and he may get the conditions to suit in the race.
Two Darn Lizzie returns to the races after her impressive win at Magic Millions on debut. She steps up in class on Saturday in the Group 2 Riesling Stakes. How has this daughter of Two Darn Hot improved since we saw her step out in January?
Two Darn Lizzie was excellent on the Gold Coast. She's had a nice freshen up. She's had two solid trials in preparation for this race on Saturday. She's still got to improve further. She's meeting a few that are more seasoned, more experienced and race fit this preparation, but she does have upside, plenty of ability herself, and I think she's back in good shape.
How Good Are You will attempt to get her first win this campaign in the Group 3 Aspiration Quality. She jumps from Barrier 7 with Regan Bayliss in the saddle. Talk us through her chances.
This is the first time that we're going to see How Good Are You under the right conditions. She's stepping out to the mile for the first time. She's been racing short of her best, so I think she's a big improver on her form. She's trained on well. She looks in good shape and very much looking forward to seeing an improved performance.
Osmos will also line up in the Group 3 Aspiration Quality for First Light Racing. The addition of blinkers might just be the key here, and they appear to have the desired effect in her most recent trial. Have you been happy with her work leading into Saturday?
Osmos has had three trials in preparation for this race. Her most recent one, we added the addition of the blinkers, which certainly sparked her up. She'll wear them on Saturday. She's a mare that improves over further later in the campaign as she steps out to 2,000 metres. There's some nice targets for her, but expecting a nice competitive race on Saturday.
Military Mission and Serpentine will go head-to-head in the listed Ramwick City Stakes over 2,000 metres. Both horses have been ticking away nicely at home. Is this a nice starting point for them heading into the autumn?
Military Mission has returned in fabulous form. He's forced to carry the big weight on Saturday, so he's likely to improve off the back of that run. Serpentine, I think, is in really good order. He's trialled up nicely and has trained on very well. Looking forward to seeing him back at the races. I think he's in for a much better campaign this time in.
Red Resistance makes a much anticipated return in the listed Fireball Stakes on Saturday. He's drawn well in Barrier 4, and Nash will be positive from the gates to try and take luck out of the equation. Has this colt by Russian Revolution come back in good order this preparation?
Really excited to see Red Resistance back at the races. Obviously a huge talent as a 2-year-old, and this is the first time that we've been able to see him since. I thought he's trialled up nicely. This looks a lovely race for him. He's back in really good order. I think he'll be very competitive for us.
Keenan will also line up in the listed Fireball Stakes for the Rosemont Alliance Syndicate. The 1100 metres here looks a good starting point, and he has the gate speed to overcome his wide draw in Barrier 8.
Keenan's in excellent shape. He's a horse that's certainly been flying under the radar. I think he's a big improver from what we saw last start. Unfortunately didn't get a run on the Gold Coast for the Magic Millions. He's freshened up nicely since then. I think this is a really nice kick-off point for him, and I think he's back in great shape.
Canberra hosts a strong card on Sunday with the running of the Canberra Cup and the Black Opal. Fully Lit looks to be the dominant favourite for the Group 3 Black Opal for Red Fox Racing. He was so impressive in the English Millennium. Are you expecting him to do the same here?
The Black Opal looks to be a lovely race for Fully Lit. He's been kept up to the mark with a nice trial in between. He's a talented colt. He hasn't done a thing wrong to date and looks in really good order.
So United ran another excellent race at Rosehill 2 weeks ago, and we were delighted to see him measure up and show that he well and truly belongs at this level. He takes his place in the Canberra Cup with Tim Clark in the saddle.
So United stuck on very well their last start. I thought he'd freshened up nicely from the Gold Coast. He's been excellent. He seems to be right in form. He's held that nicely, and I think he'll run a big race in the Canberra Cup.
You have two runners in the national sprint, Coin Toss and Brunelli. Are they both in with a winning chance on Sunday?
Coin Toss has returned in fabulous order. I think he looks much more seasoned and much sharper this preparation. He does get the blinkers for the first time. So this looks to be a lovely race to kick him off in. We're certainly going to learn more about him on Sunday. Brunelli was disappointing first up. No doubt he can improve. He followed a similar pattern last preparation where he was disappointing and bounced back to win second up. So I'm expecting to see some improvement off the back of that.
Gold Bullion and Miss Amore will attempt to add the Canberra Guineas to their name. Gold Bullion has 2 trials under his belt and he's won first up before, so there's every chance he'll be fighting at the finish for Newgate Farm. Miss Amore won on debut a fortnight ago and she will attempt to keep her winning streak intact for Lustre Lodge and Connections. Talk us through their chances.
Gold Bullion returns off a Derby campaign last preparation, but I feel he's freshened up nicely. He's had 2 solid trials in preparation for this. The 1400 metres is a nice distance to kick him off in. No doubt he'll improve as he gets over further, but I think he's back in good shape. Miss Amore's stepping up significantly in grade from her debut win, but I thought she was very impressive there. She'll continue to improve throughout her campaign, particularly as we can see her over further.
Kangaroo Court returns to the races to contest the benchmark 75 handicap over 1600 metres, with jockey Adam Hieronymus booked to ride. He steps up and trip to 1600 metres here, which should enable him to get into a much better rhythm, and we expect the extra distance to bring about further improvement.
Kangaroo Court didn't have much luck there last start, just from a wide draw. He had to get taken back on the Kensington track. He probably just got a bit far out of his ground, but I thought he ran home solidly, stepping up to the mile. No doubt going to continue to suit him, as will the much bigger track at Canberra. So I think he's open to improvement.
Adagio lines up in the Class 1 and Maiden Plate over 2,000 metres, and he's progressed nicely from his debut effort to win an excellent style second up at Musselbrook just under 3 weeks ago. He hasn't missed a beat since and appears to have taken great confidence from his win.
Adagio is a horse that I'm very much looking forward to seeing race over the weekend. He's been excellent in the couple of starts that we've seen to date. He was very impressive last start at Musselbrook. He's progressed since then. Stepping up to the 2,000 metres, I think, is a big positive for him. He's got the bloodlines to be a staying type of horse, and I've always had him on a staying type of campaign. So if he's a horse that continue to improve through the classes, he certainly looks to be on a Derby path.